This is the rules for the 2019 Sagebrush Skirmish at the Prosser Scottish Festival and Highland Games. This is intended to be a round-robin tournament. Our focus is getting as many fights for the fighters as we can. That said, at some point it becomes unwieldy. Probably somewhere around 15, which is something like 130 fights if we all fight each other, gets to be sort of a monster in terms of judging. And so as we get into there, we'll start splitting into smaller pools. Our intention, though, is to keep these pools large. We want lots of fights out of this. And again, as our first year, we want this to be a fun event and something that people enjoy and come back to. We're starting with single stick because it requires the least armor for all divisions, and we view this as a good introduction for new fighters. So let's look at some of the rules really quick. One of the differences on this compared to some of the other tournament formats that you see is that everything is 1 point. Heads aren't more, legs aren't more, arms aren't more. Okay, everything is worth the same value. This may lead, in some people's opinion, to bouts where, as they're fighting, there's a lot more emphasis on arm hits. Go ahead and give me a demo of a bout. Hold. So, arm hit, and what did you guys get? Just on the last exchange. Arm hit, did you get hit? No. Okay, so, if we were to judge that, he gets a point over. Everything is worth 1. Why is that? In the Gaelic dueling tradition, there was a huge emphasis on wounding but not killing your opponent. As a broadsword group, we're carrying that on in our tournament. If you killed a guy, this created feuds. You don't want to do that. So, we're going to emphasize 1 point leg, 1 point arm, 1 point everything. On the plus side, it also makes judging really easy. I don't have to debate whether that is your shoulder or your neck or the side of your head when I'm judging, right? It's just you got hit. The other thing that's going on is that there's no doubles. There's no blow and after blow. If they're fighting, give me a double. Okay. Within a measure, they both got hit. It doesn't matter who landed first. That essentially within the same measure, they both got hit. This is bad fencing, okay? You are both going to come out of it, given a sufficient hit, you're going to come out of it in a bad way. We don't want to allow that, or we're trying to de-emphasize that. The other thing about this is that in the round-robin format, your points are cumulative. In the beginning of each fighter starts out with 3 points. Each one of those is a loss of a point over time. To figure out first, second, and third, we total up all of your remaining lives, for lack of a better term. So, if we're out here fighting, and Scott and I are fighting, and on my first lane, bang, I got 1 point ahead. If I double out, if we go through here, and we're sparring, and he fights me, go ahead and hit me, bang, and I make sure that I get a double for the rest of the matches, I will have won 1-0 at the end of the day. I'm going to get smoked in the point standings compared to fighters that won 3-1 or 3-0 because they were fighting safer. Okay, at least that's the intention there. Okay, the other thing is other points. So like I said, all blows are 1 point. So if we're sparring and we get in close and I do that, also a point. You can go here. If you level the guy because you punched him in the face with a basket, okay, just demonstrate that you could hit or touch, we're good. You get a point over for that. Scott, come in. Disarms, okay? Right now we're trying to simulate blades here, so if you grab the blade, that's not allowed. You can grab the basket, okay? If you grab the basket and disarm, that's 2 points. If you're really cool and at the same time you grab the basket, disarm, and hit him, I'll give you 3 points. Because you got 2 points for the disarm and 1 point for the hit. Okay? That would end the match right from the get-go. And if you're that cool, I'm totally down with it. Okay. Let's see. So let's look at gear. Okay? So if we're looking at gear here, some level of gloves. It could be a lacrosse glove, something heavy like a Red Dragon, a standard lacrosse glove. These are great. These baskets are hard. Hand protection is really well suited. The only danger spots is back here on the wrist, so you get a little bit of protection here. Okay. Other requirements are cup, gorget. He's wearing a red dragon here. Jim has one integral into his jacket that you can't really see here, but it's integrated in there. All totally cool. Mask should be in good shape and not heavily dented. This mask, if you can see this, it would not qualify. Okay. Other requirements is a back of head protector, like the Spez here, or yes, that way. Something over the back of your head to enclose that. Shin guards and a hard knee is required. I think I talked about elbows already, but that's not a hard elbow. This is a hard elbow here that covers 3 points of the elbow. That and then for women, breast cups or breast protectors are going to be required. Recommended but not required is forearm protection, something like this, where it's hard forearm. You're going to take a bunch of shots to the arm. Whether or not you want to take that or not is okay. Jim has under this. He also has a hard protection under here. He also has a jacket on, which is totally fine. It's going to be 80 degrees in Prosser, probably, given average temperatures in June. So if you want to fight all day in that, go for it. Just be aware that that may be a thing. But these are sort of your minimum requirements for gear. You can always up armor. The rules are basically going to be designed around unarmored fencing. Okay, it doesn't matter that you're wearing heavy armor. We're going to judge that as if you are unarmored. The armor is just for protection. Now, I should have talked about this earlier. The blows, if he holds his arm up, obviously the hard parts on blows are, I strike, oh, was that a good hit or wasn't that? Okay, I touched him, it was tippy, okay, I hit with the very end of it at the end of my blow. It was not a significant hit, okay? The problem with this, and the problem judging any sort of tournament, of course, is we don't actually know how significant it is. It's also very, in the speed of combat, this is really hard for us to figure out, did he hit and was it sufficient? Okay, would that stop be a significant hit or not? So we're going to require a fairly heavy standard for a blow. You don't have to kill the guy, but if I hit him, that would be good. That would be good. That's probably not. Okay? Two things are going on there. One, as a blow, we don't know how significant that hit was. Also, we can't see it, right? That could be when we're actually moving full speed. This kind of thing is very difficult to see. And it probably wasn't a fight-changing event, so we're not going to call it. In general, if you look at this, right, this isn't hard, but if I'm moving around here, obviously I get my Monet, I get my hit, that's clearly a good hit. But it could be, that would be a good hit, okay, here, obviously that, you can see the travel in here, that would be a good hit. I got that in terms of my entry. All good hits. I'm not just skittering, okay? Even I got travel there, okay? I barely touched him with the tip there, okay? So that would not be called because it wasn't a good blow. It wasn't deep. It wouldn't have actually cut. The next part of this is self-calling. Okay, self-calling happens when, so maybe I hit him, bang, he hits me back. Judges don't see that for whatever reason, okay? They award me a point, so he gets deducted. And I self-call and say, look, he hit me after the blow. The judge can tell me, oh, no, he was out of measure. Like, it actually, we saw it, but it was either insufficient or it was too late. It was essentially significantly after the halt was called. So you can always self-call to your detriment. Okay? You can call off your own blow. I get in here, boom. Okay? I can self-call that off as tippy. Okay? And we kind of expect that of our fighters to do that. It makes the judge's job easier, and the best fights are the ones that the judges are least involved in. Obviously, the judges have to make the points, but we want to make this as much as possible a duel amongst friends. And out of this, not to say that winning is important, but the most important thing is that we learn out of this. And we don't learn by judges screwing up and making mistakes. So we want the actual winner of the fight to win. That is up to you as the fighter to enact, and we'll see how it works. In the tournaments that I've been in, I've seen a lot of it, and it makes the tournament experience incredible. I think that's it for the scoring rules. Make sure I don't hit on anything else. Each bout will be 2 minutes. Again, we're going to have a bunch of bouts. Time will be running fast. We're going to move as quick as possible to go through the fight with a minimum of time spent with judges conferring. We're going to try to bust through as much as possible. There's not a lot of points to be scored, so it should go relatively quickly. Good point. Grappling. Okay, so again, we talked about disarms earlier, come in a little bit. You can clear and wrap up, and this part is fine, and grappling is fine. I should be moving towards a score. Maybe I get my thrust on, or I get my punch on here. That would all be a score. Maybe I'm working towards this disarm, okay? I get my score out of that. There are no takedowns allowed, okay? So it may happen, but you shouldn't be trying to get someone there. You may, we may be someone over here and sort of working for something. He goes, we trip, we fall over. That's not an intentional takedown. And we as long as it doesn't look like you're taking a guy down, we're good. Okay. But the point is, we're trying to keep people up on their feet as much as possible. And then essentially, if we wrap up and we're clinched up here, after about 3 seconds of this, the director will call a halt, and we'll just restart and go again. Okay. I think that will be everything. Oh, ring out. If we use this as the back of the ring, okay, if I fight here, I'm still in, I am now out, okay? First time will be a warning, second time will be points deducted. Okay,
so as long as 1 foot is in the ring, you're fine.
I'm still in. I am out.
Yep.
Okay. You can be forced out if the other guy essentially shoves you out of bounds, either through grappling or anything else. You can be forced out of that way. If you step out or are forced out, either way, you're out of the ring. So you have to know your ring and be able to move around it. And generally on the weapons, these are the Purple Heart Striker basket hilts and a 3/4 to 7/8 inch rattan pole. We will be supplying all the weapons for this, but if you want to practice with an equivalent weapon, that's what we're using. And yeah, we'll supply all of these. And I think that is it. Oh, no punching, elbowing, kicking, that kind of thing. So, good. Thank you very much. We look forward to meeting you at the event.